coming out here and being with, coincidentally a bunch of Marines and a couple Army dudes, and it was just like immediately felt natural. It felt like where I belong.
We organize small mission teams of combat veterans and first responders to serve again and in a land stewardship function within our U.S. public land systems. The reason that we focus on public land stewardship is it's an opportunity for our warrior tribe, combat veterans and first responders to serve on a team, to have a purpose, to have a new mission.
Welcome to HomeFront Sitrep. I hope you're in for a great show today, because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out HomeFront Sitrep's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting. Welcome, everybody, to a Monday edition of HomeFront Sitrep. Hopefully, everybody's had a great Monday. Last night, we had Veteran Hundo Club on, and Christopher Raymond and Mr. Finch, the model that they're building there with Veteran Hundo Club is simply amazing. And it was great chatting, with Coach Trail and Captain Joe Arnold and Johnny and Jason, and plus Chris was on there as well.
Yeah, it was a good time.
It was great. I mean, 2 hours went by like that pretty quick. And it was very informative too, learning about what Veteran Hundo Club, their model and what they're doing and how they're helping veterans. And then, they didn't think about focusing on Gold Star families, but now that we brought it up, they're going to start focusing on Gold Star families as well, because a lot of people forget about the families. They serve just as well as I served. You served because your daddy was in the military. You served, and well, you did.
I served afterwards, but
people forget about the families always. So
yeah, it was awesome to see a bylaw go through live, on the podcast. It was great,
just like that.
Yeah, and then knowing that Homefront's their official podcaster. Like that's awesome
I know
too.
it's super cool. And then you finding out we're number 7
I know.
on the list of 100 best veteran podcasts by
I'm super stoked
FeedSpot.
about
That's super cool. But we got a great episode tonight. I started, scouring the internet like I always do, and I always find organizations, whether it be on Facebook or wherever I find them. And I found this organization. It's Two Wolf Foundation. I'm gonna bring up this little flyer here. Make it full screen. So Two Wolf Foundation exists to serve members of the warrior tribe on their healing journey. At the root of our mission is a passion to offer continued support for combat veterans and former first responders seeking purpose and belonging. We want to ensure that the torch continues to be carried forward in recovery and post-traumatic growth. So the good thing about this website, I'm going to drop that back down. When I was looking and going through everything, I was like, dude, they don't have a board on here. They don't have, they didn't have any information.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes that's a bad thing, depending on the organization.
I don't know, but you got excited about this one.
But I did get excited because, after talking with Brian, who we'll bring up in here in a minute, what I found out is they're focused on the veteran. They don't want the recognition for themselves, so they're focused on the veteran.
Yeah.
And that's amazing because, like I said, there's a lot of organizations. Hey, I'm the CEO, I'm the founder.
Well, it's almost like there's so many organizations that's kind of the purpose of starting the organization
Right.
is to get this recognition or this
to build their public profile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, really, because those are the ones like they get people pumped and excited, and everybody's like looking forward to what's coming, and then it's just like,
Oh yeah,
like,
and then
it just doesn't
now
work.
I'm going to go run for office in DC or something. They're trying
Forget the organization. It's like we didn't get in this for the right reason.
Yes, and I could tell by just looking at their website. So I'm going to put their website in the chat. Let's see, copy, paste. So if you want to go check out their website, I'm putting it here in chat, and I'm gonna put it up on the screen as well. So yeah, twowolf.org is their website. You can go there and check out the website there. But they do all kinds of things. I mean, they're based in Montana. They have a team, stewardship team in Arizona, Idaho, Utah, California, Wyoming.
It's like, just take me out west,
dude. They're all over the upper Northwest. I mean, they're everywhere, and
they're just everywhere you want to be.
And they do things outdoors, which is we talked about it numerous times. I love outdoor therapy. I love just going out, sitting up, propping myself up next to a tree and watching nature wake up. I mean, to me that's simply the best feeling ever because, man, it's
nature is nurturing.
Yes, I love it. So
look, if you guys all know Willis, like he's super excited about this, but he's also getting ready to call himself out on a boo-boo, so he's stressing, and you can see it. Like I'm watching you stress.
I am stressed a little bit. I was kind of rushing doing the intro video for Two Wolf Foundation, and what I didn't realize is when I was making it, when I was recording it off of YouTube, I stopped and paused it a couple of times because I was trying to listen to some things. And so when I played the video at the beginning, you saw it paused and all that. So that was on me. I'll have to fix that, and I'll post it at the end. I'll post it on all of our social media and get that video. But it's also on their website as well. All I did was copied it from there. And,
but a great thing to go and watch and just a nice blurb about them and have some.
There's actually a few videos on there.
Testimonials.
There's actually a few videos on there. So definitely, but without further ado, let's bring Mr. Brian Flynn up to the stage. Welcome, Brian. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
We're doing wonderful, and I would be even better if I was in Montana sitting next to you. So
under a winter weather advisory.
So do me a favor. Our listeners don't know who you are. So introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself, however far back you want to go, and then we'll go from there.
I'll give you the cliff notes. My name is Brian Flynn. I'm an Army Green Beret and run the organization Two Wolf Foundation. Joined the Army back in 2003, had graduated high school, thought I was going to be a semi-pro competitive golfer, and went to college to play golf. And the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan had kicked off. And I don't know, going to war at that time in my life looked like it had more value than hitting pitching wedges all day long. So I was compelled to, and felt like it was my duty to be a part of the effort. And yeah, joined the Army in 2003, couple deployments, regular Army to Iraq, and then went down the Special Forces selection route and went through that training required, became a Green Beret, and spent the rest of my active duty career at 5th Special Forces Group, Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Nice. So my buddy Ty Cobb, he's Army guy as well. He was stationed at Fort Campbell for a really long time. And Rich LaMonica, if he jumps on, he was at Fort Campbell, got out of the military after 22 years, and now he's back as a civilian contractor training the new guys. So he's in the glutton for punishment because he went back as a civilian. I guess it's a little bit easier going back as a civilian than being still in the military. But
you all kind of try to find your way back in somehow.
I couldn't let go of it. I left active duty in 2014. I then, after just a short period of time attempting my run at being a college student, ended up down in South Alabama and was a civilian contractor instructor at the U.S. Army SEER School, which put me back in that team room, just military mindset, and it killed me that I wasn't wearing the uniform anymore. And I ended up getting back in after a 6-year break.
Ooh, 6 years.
Pursued the National Guard route. There are 2 Army Special Forces National Guard units in the country. There's 19th Group and 20th Group. And given that I was over there on the East Coast at the time and based out of Alabama, that is where the headquarters for 20th Special Forces Group is. Had some friends that had ended up over there. And yeah, after 6 years, suited back up and got back in. And I'm still actively under contract with the Army National Guard and 20th Special Forces.
Okay.
Well, thank you for your service,
well,
sir.
Definitely thank you for your service, for sure.
We'll continue in that.
And something about Spec Op guys, Green Berets, Raiders, Delta, they never really, when they get out, they never go away from the teams. It's a different style of brotherhood compared to, like, I'm a Marine, I'm a Jarhead, so every Marine's my brother. But when it goes to Spec Op guys, it's a whole different level of brotherhood with you guys. Now, you were at SEER School. How was Green Beret training to become a Green Beret? How was that different than like Ranger? And then how was that different from like Navy SEAL, Marine Corps Raider and stuff like that? How's it different?
Well, I mean, the first and foremost, the biggest difference is just the time. The Special Forces qualification course can be anywhere from just over a year to 2 years long for certain, military specialties. Our 18 Deltas, our Special Forces medics, they have an extended stay on there going through the Q course. I was a 18 Bravo, which is a Special Forces weapons sergeant, and completed the course in a year and 2 months or something like that, year and 3 months.
Look at you go.
Just in training every day. And a lot of those other, things like Ranger School, they're, timeline wise, I think Ranger School is about 2 months. And it's brutal, but the extended version there at the Special Forces qualification course is it's extremely taxing. There's a lot of pressure to perform, and as a student going through that and working to become a Green Beret, you never let up the idea that you are always being evaluated, and you carry yourself with that understanding that every action, everything that comes out of your mouth, every bit of effort that you either choose to put into something or don't put into something, you will be, you're going to be critiqued on it, and you're going to be evaluated. And for lack of a better word, judged, and you get used to that.
Yeah. Well, that's like with Scout Sniper School. You're always, I'm not saying Scout Sniper School is just like, you know, SEER training or anything like that, but you made the point that everybody's, you know, scrutinized, and they want to make sure that whoever they put in that position can and will function under pressure, because you have to, because some of the situations that you get into are very extreme, which is kind of why the U.S. military, we are some of the most badass people out there, especially, you know, the Raiders, Green Beret, Delta, and all of you guys. But enough about that. We could go on about that all day long. I want to talk about Two Wolf Foundation. So how did Two Wolf Foundation come about?
Well, it started when my personal journey into establishing or founding this organization was that separation from the military, my own loss of community, my own loss of identity, and significant loss of purpose, being driven by mission for all of my adult life, being in the military. When I did separate, that was a huge struggle that I had to deal with, and I maintained a connection to the military through, you know, instructing down at the SEER program, and everything there was fantastic until I took a job for money and left that position, and ended up working at a desk and surrounded by computer monitors and, you know, cubicle life, which did not sit very well with the life of adventure that I was used to.
Right.
And through that, I realized that I needed to create more opportunities within my own life, to get outside, to be in nature, to experience new adventures. And in that process, discovered after a trip out west, public lands and our U.S. public land system. Now, spending my entire career down in the Southeast, there's not a lot of public land down there, not to the amount that is found out west. And had come out here to attend a training program in Spokane, Washington. Was just exploring the area on a regular basis for the couple weeks that I was there, and just realized that this was just the most unbelievably incredible opportunity, was to utilize public lands as a therapeutic landscape, to find myself, to find what I would do next, and ultimately arrived at the decision to relocate my family from South Alabama out west. And in that process, began to have some very close friends, former teammates, guys that I had served with, seeing them struggle as they were nearing the ends of their careers, or they were already separated and transitioned. And, you know, text messages and updates on former team members or teammates and guys that you knew or guys that you deployed with. And, you know, just news after bad news after bad news. I arrived at the conclusion that I wanted to do something to change the trajectory of people's lives. If there was any way that I could be involved in that, I would do whatever it took. And I developed an idea that would provide an opportunity for transitioning service members to immerse into nature through like long distance backpacking. And I spent months building this business plan idea, the concept, and how to tie the outdoor recreation industry into participating or hiking along with these transitioning service members for a few days at a time, that would ultimately lead to internships in the outdoor industry. Okay. And man, I thought this was the greatest idea I'd ever had, and I threw it out to some people that close friends and people that I believed and trusted in their feedback. And the consensus was that while it sounded awesome, walking sucks. And And we had done enough of it over the course of our career. And that, knees and backs and hips and necks, and, things hurt. And hiking hundreds of miles over months wasn't that appealing to a lot of people. And then in the midst of this, COVID hit. And we all got put on lockdown, and I had nothing better to do during that time than to hang out on YouTube and watch, whatever random videos were coming across. And I think at that time, the algorithm and search histories, I'm a big Toyota fan, always have been. And a group called Expedition Overland had been pushed into my YouTube feed. And what they do, it's a family, Clay and Rochelle Croft, and their family and a team. And what they do is they do long distance vehicle supported expeditions, all the way up to the most northern regions of our, up to Tuktoyaktuk, the farthest, most northern point that you can drive an automobile, all the way down to the, Pan American Highway down into South America and stuff like that. And in that moment, watching their series on an expedition across Alaska, I had this light bulb moment where I saw a team effectively operating in conducting convoy operations and exploring these just absolutely incredible landscapes. And I thought, I wonder if we built a couple of these trucks, if I could find some people that wouldn't mind going on a pretty epic road trip and a little bit of off-roading and camping. And
we're not walking.
Yeah, and not walking. And as I hashed that out, we realized how much more significant benefit there would be to vehicle-supported, adventure-based therapy, reducing barriers to participation. It would open the door to be able to include more people in the outdoors that potentially were physically limited or would be more reserved to participate in a lot of these other nature therapy type programs because of physical ability, age, you name it. There's a lot of factors into it, but the most important aspect of that I arrived at was my entire livelihood, my life, my identity had been built around the idea of service, uniform service. And as COVID hit and more people started going out and experiencing our public land system, there was a lot of irresponsible recreation, a massive influx in outdoor recreationists and users. And these places were just being destroyed, mistreated, trashed, destroyed. And I kind of committed the idea to utilizing this platform to organize these small teams of veterans and former first responders to go out and clean these places up and serve our public lands.
And to conserve them. I like it.
Yep. The concern, to participate in the conservation and sustainment of these healing spaces, because that's what they became for me. And I figured if it was making me feel better, it might make some others feel better too.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I like I said earlier, I love, like I said, just going out in the woods and just prop myself up next to a tree and just watch nature wake itself up in the morning. And there's no better feeling than just sitting out there listening to the birds wake up, the chipmunks, the squirrels, and just listen to it. I love it. And like I said earlier, I would love to move to Montana because the country there is just beautiful, just wide open space. And it's just beautiful. And it's, unfortunately, you do have people that when they go out camping and whether they're out dirt biking, four wheeling or whatever, they're tearing up the soil out there. Now, I'm not against it as long as you do it safely and you do it where you don't disturb the ecosystem that's there.
Respectfully.
Yeah, as long as you do it respectfully. And if you carry trash in, carry it out with you. That's I'm a Marine. When I was up in Sahara Nevadas and we went up to the summit, everything that we took in with us, we had to bring back out with us.
You didn't even leave crown wrappers.
No, we didn't even leave crown wrappers.
And texture.
I love, that you are taking veterans and first responders and taking them on a vehicle, long range, kind of like a reconnaissance mission, basically, where you're taking them out there. They're doing an adventure. And Doc says, "Leave no trace." You are correct, Doc. That's awesome. And you know, you got teams in California. It looks like you got teams in Idaho, Wyoming, Arizona, Montana, Utah. So a little bit everywhere in the upper Northwest. So you started in Montana. How did these people, you know, get connected with you to start in different states? How did that come about?
Well, so those are locations of projects that Two Wolf Foundation has gone and completed in different national forests. Yeah.
Nice.
How we recruit these teams and bring them here to Montana and then deploy to these locations to participate in these stewardship projects is interesting. It originally started with an idea that I wanted to enable a form of continued engagement and support for clinical and non-clinical PTSD and substance addiction treatment programs. When I was an active duty Green Beret and after a couple deployments, the alcohol got the better of me. And coming home from deployments, I found myself utilizing self-medication as the outlet to quiet the noise, to figure out how to get myself to sleep. And then just probably a mentality of work hard, play harder. And during my active duty military career, I became an alcoholic and ended up in treatment. Came through the other side of that, empowered with the strength of choice, recognizing that I had a decision to make every single day, allowed me to bounce back from that and continue to grow. And ultimately, that put me on a path to participate in a program called Warrior Path, which is progressive and alternative training for healing heroes. It's run by the Boulder Crest Foundation. And it is a post-traumatic growth training course. It's a curriculum focused on educating active duty military veterans and first responders about the science of post-traumatic growth, the idea that what doesn't kill you will make you stronger. Yeah. And that you can go through these incredibly traumatic events. These very bad things can happen to you in your life, but how you choose to look at them, the perspective that you adopt, gives you the opportunity to recognize some pretty significant gifts and strengths that you gained by surviving, by making it to the other side.
Is that still around, the Warrior Path?
It is. It is. And
is that something that's on your website?
There is a link under our Grow tab, I believe, that talks about the Warrior Path program and post-traumatic growth.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Sorry, I think it's a wonderful thing that you just mentioned. So having something that people can go to and find.
Yeah, the Boulder Crest Foundation right there.
Yeah, that's neat. That's another thing that, you know, I hadn't heard of. I don't know if you have.
No, I didn't, but I'm definitely going to check into them.
Post growth. So that's awesome.
I'm like you in a sense. When I was in the Marines, I too took to the bottle to deal with, you know, the post traumatic stress that I had, and of course, and then my first wife decided to cheat on me with a Navy guy. I went down an even bigger rabbit hole and into my chain of command said, "Hey, you got a problem. We need to fix it." They sent me to detox, and I had to go through AA. But I'm like you. When I came out on the other side, I knew I had to wake up every day and make a choice, and I still make that choice today because, like, when I go hang out with friends, you know, everybody's drinking, and they're like, "Hey, are you going to drink?" And sometimes I will. Sometimes, and I only take, and if I do drink, it's 1, 2, or 3, and I'm done. I cut myself off. I make that choice. Hey, I'm done. My wife will tell you, we've been married. We've been together 20 plus years. And in 20 plus years, she's seen me drunk one time. And that's when we were in the Dominican Republic. And I had no kids. I had no kids, no responsibility, and I was sitting in the pool, and I met a Marine from New York. He was on vacation there as well, and they left me, my whole crew. I was with 20 people, and they left me and him in the pool by ourselves, and it had a swim up bar. Bad mistake. But I make that choice every day to, with everything in life. We, like you said, we have that choice. I still deal with my PTS and my hypervigilance and my anxiety. Doing this podcast and reaching out to organizations as Two Wolf Foundation or Veteran Hundo Club or the Hope Project down in Florida. This is my sort of my sense of therapy right here. This is what gives me therapy because, Doc, my brother Thomas Reardon there, Desert Storm vet, he Navy corpsman, came home. He was the EMT, got to the point where his PTS was so severe that he couldn't leave his house. And then he found an organization that did equine therapy. And I was part of that organization. And now Doc is out volunteering. He's doing radio and TV commercials talking about his post-traumatic stress. He's working with the organization to help run the equine facility that they have there. So I love seeing growth after growth. And it's awesome. It loves it. I love it. So how often do you do these like projects that you guys do? How often do you guys do that?
Well, for this will be our third year in operation. 2024 is year 3, and we're going to be conducting 4 of these projects, 4 of these programs that we call Warrior Stewardship. And in our second year, we did 3. And in our first year, we ran our pilot program, which was a team of veterans and first responders that went on an 1,100-mile overland trip from Montana down to Arizona. It was 11 days long, camping in Montana, Idaho, Utah, northern Arizona, and then finally arriving at our project base camp outside of Phoenix in the Four Peaks Wilderness, where we worked with the Arizona Trail Association and their veterans program, their veteran engagement and trail stewardship program. A good friend of mine that runs that deal had facilitated this several days that we would go out on the Arizona National Scenic Trail and just leave it better than we found it. Just go out and work and break dirt, swinging, pickaxes and digging up dirt and pulling rocks and building erosion bars on the hiking trail and brushing and grubbing. And then heading back to camp at the end of each day, cooking an incredible meal together, and just, watching the sunset over the mountains that we were camped in.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was our proof of concept. That was in 2022, October. And we took 3 trucks and a team of 6, made that trip and tried to poke every hole that we could in this idea and figure out, what our failure points were and whether or not this was going to be possible. It was an unbelievable success. The feedback from the team members for that first team just drove us to say, okay, this is possible. Let's see what we can do in 23. And last year, we ran 3 of these teams that did deployments essentially from Montana. We did a project in northwestern Montana, like 5 miles from the Canadian border. We did a project in Idaho in the Salmon Chalice National Forest, and then we closed out the year with a team that we took down to Utah to work in the Uinta Wasatch Cache National Forest outside Salt Lake City. And each of these projects, we work with a national conservation or stewardship organization. They're the subject matter experts. They are the public land managers. They are the ones that know the work that needs to get done. So I do all the coordinating with the public land manager, the U.S. Forest Service, the Bureau of Land Management, and a stewardship partner like Tread Lightly or the Idaho Trails Association or the Arizona Trail Association, and basically tell them like, look, I'm going to bring a crew that knows how to work. We get stuff done. What do you need done?
Yeah,
And we identify a project.
So how big were these teams?
Each of them are 6.
So always 6. That's the goal. Okay.
So you were talking about, carrying out the mission. At the end of the day, you come back, you're sitting around, you're cooking a meal, breaking bread together, but you're also sitting around a campfire with these veterans. And a lot of times people don't understand sitting around that campfire and talking with other veterans that have similar situations, similar stories to what you have. That's where a lot of the healing takes place. And out accomplishing, whether you're fixing a fence or whether you're fixing, a trail path or whatever, you're building that camaraderie through the day because you're working to accomplish a mission. But once you get back and you're sitting around that campfire, you're breaking bread, that's where the real healing takes place. And man, I love it. It's awesome. So if somebody was wanting to come out and be part of your organization, I think you kind of touched on it a little bit. But let's say my friend Doc wanted to come out and wanted to be on one of your teams. What's the process like? And is there do you focus on veterans that are rated, or do you just focus on veterans that what do you guys focus on?
Yeah, and how far out do you location?
As we continue to grow this, the hope is that we can continue to provide as many opportunities as possible in order to establish our footing in this nonprofit landscape and operate this thing effectively and functionally. Here is how we have gone about recruiting these teams. We built the very first team of 6. And at the conclusion of that, I tasked them with finding their replacement. It was the idea, the ripple effect idea, that the lives that were impacted as part of that very first team, they would have the opportunity to pass that on to somebody else in their life that they served with or that they knew would benefit from this type of experience. And so leveraging their networks and being able to connect with other individuals, other veterans or former first responders that maybe this type of activity would be something of value in their life at that moment. It's something that they needed. We keep 2 running lists. We have the list of individuals that are referrals from former team participants. And then for those that come across our website or find us on social media and reach out, on Facebook or Instagram or through the website, we just keep a running list of interested parties. There is no application process. And I do my best to try to just work with any individual that expresses an interest in participating in this with identifying an opportunity that best fits their schedule, because it's a significant time commitment. The team that we're taking to California this summer, they will be living out of our overland trucks for 2 weeks. I mean, it's going to be a 2-week expedition from Montana down to the eastern Sierra Nevada of California. And we're taking a team to go help build a new roof on a 1930s built Forest Service Ranger cabin that's been out of commission for like 2 decades. It's falling apart. It's just south of Mount Whitney on the border of the Golden Trout Wilderness in the Sierra Nevada. And the Forest Service wants to put staff members back in there seasonally. It's, it's out of commission. It's unlivable now. So I said, I'll bring a team and we'll put a new roof on it. So
that's awesome.
Now, is that going to be your first of 24?
It will not. I was extremely busy in the 10 minutes leading up to jumping on this podcast with you guys. Our first team of 2024 launches in less than a week, and it is our first all women's female veteran and former first responder team.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
we fly in on Sunday.
Nice. Willis gets excited about those.
No, yeah, because a lot of times people forget that females serve as well. And I love that, here you got an all-female team that's awesome. And now, do you do co-ed ones too, or is it strictly male, strictly female?
Yeah, it's single sex.
Okay.
The immersive aspect of this, living out of these vehicles, these overland trucks that we've built that facilitate our programming, you're in very close proximity, long duration, a lot of miles on the road, and then living in camp. I wanted to facilitate as strong of a connection as possible with peer-to-peer support.
Yeah.
So now, are you going on this, or do you have another female lead?
I am not. I worked for several months through the winter to identify two phenomenal co-team leaders for this women's team. One is an Army veteran and one is a Navy veteran. Awesome. That are coming together to help co-lead this team that is headed out next week. And so I am hands off. I will receive them here in Montana. We're gonna have a team orientation and kind of cover what the mission is and what they're gonna, what's going to be happening. And then it's on them. They'll load up in our Toyotas and make their miles down to the Sawtooth Mountain region of Idaho, outside of Stanley. They're going to be along the Payette River, working with the Idaho Trails Association. Some of the first stewardship work of the year, clearing hiking trails, enabling access to some of these backcountry areas.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
That's awesome. So let's say somebody in Kentucky, because we have the Appalachian Trail that runs through. Also, we got the public lands up in the mountains and stuff there. Say somebody in Kentucky wanted to create like a sub-chapter of Two Wolf Foundation, but they want to do it in Kentucky and focus, on, like I said, the Appalachian Trail and the public lands that we have that run through Kentucky and Tennessee and stuff. How is that something that you've thought about for the future, or is that something that possibly might be already in the works,
or even just a project,
or even just a project?
I would say a year ago, I thought that regional chapters, as we built more teams and they came out here to the West and they kind of got the full experience on a Warrior Stewardship team, a week long travel in the West and camping and serving in a stewardship or conservation function, that they would go back to their, to the areas that they live. And we would eventually be able to build these regional chapters that would then be able to have a positive stewardship impact on the public lands or parks or green spaces, period, that are near them. The team that we took to Utah, we had two participants. We had two team members that were from the Boston area, out in the Northeast. Not long after they participated with us, which was a joint collaboration with an organization called Tread Lightly, they made contact with their local Tread Lightly stewardship coordinator and set up a veteran gathering land cleanup project. And that's what I want to see. We talk about that ripple effect, the lives that we impacted, the experience was meaningful enough that they went back home and then took it upon themselves to be a part of another project that supported their local outdoor spaces.
That's right. Awesome. So it's not necessarily that you even have this thought or this worry in your mind about having chapters somewhere. It's the beauty of seeing that ripple effect, and you are more than happy to watch people go home and do something in their area that signifies the same thing in this gathering.
And I tell all the team participants, I will always be there as a resource. If there's a question that you have, if I can assist in connecting people to enable that type of work, I'll do everything in my power to be able to make that happen. Research and education and information, we share as much of it as we can. And that's how we all, get through this a little bit better than maybe we were alone.
Still takes a village.
No, it does take a village. And I was thinking, so, Cal Schutig with Project Zero out of Texas, they take veterans, over overland or over overland adventures as well. They don't go into the aspect of the beautification, and conservation wise, but I think, a partnership between Project Zero and Two Wolf Foundation would be pretty cool, because he's out of Texas, but they go into some of the same areas that you guys go into when it goes to public lands in Texas and states around. I was thinking, that would be a cool partnership.
Yeah,
because
bring that together. You're doing what he already does, and then bringing in hear what Brian does, and putting that together.
Yeah, some kind of partnership there. Well, I'll have to get you and Kyle connected via email. And one of the things that we do at HomeFront Sitrep is we try to connect people together that are like-minded and already doing something. It's not to reinvent the wheel, but just to help make those connections, because
and you build upon it.
Yeah, and you build upon it, and like if Doc calls me up and say, hey brother, I want to go on an overland Jeep adventure, I say, oh okay, well I can get you connected with Kyle out in Texas, or I can get you connected with Brian up in Montana, or if somebody wanted to go equine therapy, we got Project Hope down in the Panhandle of Florida, or you got Wayward Warrior Ranch in Bristol, Virginia. So that's kind of what we do, with HomeFront Sitrep. When we bring all these veteran service organizations in, I store them up here at my brain bank. And when I talk with somebody else like you, I'm like, oh, we could get them hooked up with Kyle, and they could, can work out some kind of partnership there, because, they're taking veterans out in the nature. And they do. I don't think they do over. It's like a weekend event. It's not 10-day or 11-day or 12-day event, but they kind of do the same thing that you guys do when you take veterans out in nature. So I think that would be a pretty cool partnership.
Yeah. So So I have a question. So when you get this team of 6 together, with these women coming in, like wherever they're coming from, is this all taken care of cost wise for these veterans or first responders? Like
it is a no cost participation for all Warrior Stewardship team members. Two Wolf Foundation covers their airfare, travel, food, fuel during the course of the trip. We try to curate, because we are living out of the teams are living out of these trucks for a pretty substantial amount of time. So we've put a lot of effort into building the vehicles to be able to support that. And then comes the food. We try to do our best to create some absolutely incredible opportunities to prepare some meals and experience them in locations that you wouldn't normally think. So the women's team coming in, when they all arrive here in Montana on Monday, we will go to the grocery store as a team and brainstorm what different meals they want to build, and we cover the grocery bill, and that all goes into our 12-volt fridges and the freezer stuff that we have built into the trucks.
Nice.
And they're able to. We're not just eating dehydrated meals or MREs for.
Oh man, come on! It's gotta have MREs.
We've made some incredible meals. We've had, wild game taco night where it's either elk or ground elk or ground venison tacos. We've done, steak and mashed potatoes and green beans. We, grilled chicken and just all these things that really high quality meals that require the team to work together to prepare, given the limited resources. And then, I think there's a lot of people out there that know that breaking bread together, sharing a meal, and doing it in the outdoors, in a space where there is no distraction. There's nothing but the connection being made between you and the people around you. It's unbelievable, and it's refreshing, and it's what builds lifelong support for each other. Are those moments?
It's something we've been talking about recently, and it's what you're doing as well, is putting that structure in order, regardless of what it's doing. What you're giving a mission, everything going together with it, with the travel, with the stay, with the meals, is still it's bringing this structure back into the lives of those of you that need that.
Yeah.
You yearn for that. That was part of your purpose, is having that structure. And so bringing that back in on this, I think, makes him very unique in his
Oh yeah, for sure.
overland adventures, if you will. But
For sure. So I'm looking at the 3 trucks.
I know those are cool.
I see you got, the 2 tents on top. Is both of them 2 tents or like individual tents, or is it like one giant tent?
So we are pretty unique. We may have the only 2 rooftop tent Toyota Tacoma in the country. And that truck was purpose built for this programming, so that the 2 team members assigned to that truck basically have their own private bedrooms. In their experience, in their overland experience, they have their own bedroom. And then the Forerunner, our Toyota 4Runner, is outfitted with a larger version of that iCamper Sky Camp rooftop tent.
Yeah.
That does accommodate 2 people. It's larger. There's more space than a king size bed. 2 people can sleep up in there very comfortably. But we also provide an annex room that comes off of that, where if an individual wanted their own personal space and some privacy, we can set up the annex room and we have a cot that's very comfortable with an air mattress style sleeping pad. And then the 3rd truck we borrow. We have been able to garner the incredible support of an adventure vehicle rental company out of Bozeman, Montana, that loans us one of their adventure trucks.
Nice.
That's fully outfitted with a Go Fast camper system that has a wedge style pop-up tent that 2 people can sleep in very comfortably together. And then you got to meet everybody where they're at. Some people may not be comfortable with climbing up into a tent with somebody they've only known for a day or 2.
Right.
We also keep on hand a few ground tents that if somebody just needs their space. But all the gear is provided to experience this. All the sleeping bags and blankets and pillows. We've been able to amass some phenomenal support from the outdoor recreation industry and the overland space and the off-road community, and build some trucks that are outfitted with top of the line premium gear that will give these team members the ultimate experience in long distance, overland style travel.
So this is going to, these veterans, they're out there for 12 days, right? And say they happen to be camping by a stream. Do you guys have fishing poles? How would they go about, so how about, are they able to hunt for their own food? Basically is what I'm asking.
Well, I'll tell you this, in the West, I've only lived out here a few years, and I grew up hunting and fishing. I was I fished for largemouth bass growing up as a kid, and then all through high school and my whole life, all I did was bass fish in the South. And moving out here to the West, I quickly learned about fly fishing and these trout streams and small native trout fisheries that are everywhere out here. So anywhere on these public lands, we set up these dispersed campsites. We plan accordingly, and we try to camp as near running water, streams, creeks, rivers. And this last year, we brought a few fly rods, and Two Wolf Foundation was able to pay for the fishing license for every team member in the states that we were traveling through.
Oh, cool.
So that they could experience fly fishing on some of these, incredible mountain streams and creeks.
Yeah, you're definitely covering all bases.
I just had the recreation aspect of it when we're in camp, to have that outlet, it's just another way to spend time together. It's another stress release. It's just another aspect of the experience that makes it special. I just had a big meeting with a company called Trout Routes, and they're a watershed mapping resource. They have an app that they have mapped out every single body of water, running or, static, lakes and stuff like that, lakes, reservoirs, streams, creeks, rivers. And we're looking at how to include, the appropriate amount of recreation during the conduct of these missions to serve these public lands. But you can't go out there and not, maybe cast a line or two and try to land a fish while you're out there.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I was just wondering because, being outdoor and, we're all veterans and, if we need to survive, whether it be fishing or whether it be, doing a snare trap to catch a rabbit or whatnot. I didn't know if that was something that you guys were able to do while they were out there. Let's say, a bear gets in their food supply and they got to survive. I just didn't know if that was something they were able to do.
And a tundra to get somewhere they need to be.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, yes, they do have a vehicle that will help them get where they need to get and get more food if needed be. But no, I love it. So I'm definitely going to have to go to the website and get registered and everything, whatever I need to do.
Because I'm trying to figure out more adventure.
Well, I am because I would love to come out to Montana, Wyoming, and do a project with you guys because for one, it would be very therapeutic for me. The only problem is I'd have to figure out how with work to make this happen. So
look, if he comes out to Montana, he ain't coming home. So
might not.
If he comes, you're stuck with him. You got a whole new team lead. I see a whole remodel of your truck sitting out there in the driveway. I'm going to come over next week or two, and there's going to be some pop-up tents on the back of them. And be like, whoa, Willis, hold on. Hold on.
But no, man, I love it. I love it. So you got I'm going to keep it PC, a buttload of partners. So, because I'm on the website, let's see where I saw the list of partners. Where did I see it? I know there was a whole list on here, wasn't there?
What were you looking at? He's been clicking all over this thing.
I have. So, how many different partners do you guys have within Two Wolf Foundation that you partner with outside of, whether it be a outdoor fishing company or anything like that? I'm trying to find it on the website.
Yeah, I mean, our sponsor list or our supporter list is on the homepage down at the bottom, twowolf.org. And really, I kind of mentioned it earlier. The programming that was developed to facilitate an overland expedition style experience required these vehicles to be built out pretty capable.
Yeah.
So I had to do a lot of cold calling and reaching out and saying, hey, I have this idea. I don't know how we're going to make it happen, but it would be amazing if you guys would, help out with this. And so a lot of our sponsor work has been in product support. The companies that you see listed on the website are companies that have provided in-kind donation of product to help build these trucks into what they are, because they are they're the cornerstone of this programming.
Yeah.
And when I set out to create this organization and build this warrior stewardship program, I didn't have any money, and this stuff is expensive. But what I did have was a house outside of Fort Benning in Georgia, and I had an F-150, and we had a Toyota Prius, and my wife's Highlander. And when I made the decision that I wanted to be a part of changing lives, we sold all that stuff. And from a founding of the organization standpoint, it's myself. It's an individual, a good friend of mine named Doug Bauer, who is a Marine veteran that him and I went through Boulder Crest Warrior Path program together.
Nice.
And he's our co-founder. Him and I founded Two Wolf Foundation together. And
that's even more beautiful. I love it.
Our third founding member is a very long-time friend of mine that had just believed in the mission so much and was such a hype man and just encouraging that I was like, will you be one of our founding board members? And between the selling of my personal property and that individual's significant financial contribution, we were able to buy these 2 trucks outright and begin the work necessary to build them into what they are now, which is our Warrior Stewardship Program fleet. We have a goal, we have a vision to add 2 more trucks to our fleet so that we can increase the number of participants.
Yeah.
I've been told that that's not a lofty enough goal. 4 trucks. No, you need 12 trucks so you can send 3 teams out at once.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
But the idea was that if we made the initial investment, I believed in this so much that we were willing to walk out and cash in hand, buy a 2021 Tacoma and a 2024 Runner, take them to these companies and go, help us build these things into the ultimate overland trucks, the off-road capable, long distance vehicle, supported adventure. And this is why we're going to put veterans and first responders in them, and we're going to go serve again. We're going to go leave these places better than we found them, and ensure that they are the space that they need to be for future generations,
while giving an outlet and peace and serenity to these heroes.
Yeah.
No, I love it. So one question I didn't touch on. So when you got these 6 veterans out there, let's say a medical issue arises. Do you have on-staff medical personnel that could be within reach, or does somebody go with them that is medically trained?
We have a medical plan, a medical reaction plan, or for every location that we plan on camping. We know what the route in and route out is. We're obviously vehicle supported. So in the event that the injury was not serious enough to require us to contact search and rescue or emergency services, we can exfil a casualty on our own while treating them. I'm an Army Green Beret. I've had a lot of medical training. And then I also attempt to screen team participants to get as good of an understanding as I can of what individuals' backgrounds are. And we've been very fortunate to put somebody on almost every team that has either licensed or certifications in a EMS background or paramedic medical background.
Well, you're also working with these teams and such that are in the areas of where you're doing the project as well. So I'm sure you have those connections as well, and they have somebody that they can contact.
Yeah, there's all of the projects. The public land managers have their own emergency and casualty.
And they're always aware of when you're doing these projects.
Protocols, and they're with us, participating right alongside us.
Perfect.
No, I love it, man. I love it. Now, so if you're out there in Facebook world, whether you're on HMG, Heroes Media Group, Military United Podcast Streams, or one of HomeFront Sitrep's platforms, if you go to twowolf.org, which I got it right here in comments, go to twowolf.org. If you want to donate, up in the upper right-hand corner on the home screen, it says donate. Click that arrow. You can click on that to donate. And then you can scroll through the website like I have been doing for this whole episode. You're scrolling through and seeing different things. Now,
I always ask, this is always my question.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Where did Two Wolf come from?
Oh, yeah. Well, I've got it right here. I told you guys, my desire to create this organization was in an effort to try to promote a continued engagement for individuals that had made a decision that they wanted to seek treatment for either PTSD or substance addiction. Mm-hmm. Having gone through that myself in both endeavors, my time with Warrior Path and the Boulder Crest Foundation, during that 7-day training on post-traumatic growth, there's a story that gets told. And it is a story that is either titled The Story of the Two Wolves, or it's more commonly known as The Battle Within. Mm-hmm. And what it discusses is it's a parable that says that there's an old Cherokee in in teaching his grandson about life, he tells him, I have a fight going on inside of me. And that fight is between two wolves. And he goes on to tell the grandson that one wolf represents anger and envy and sorrow and regret and self-pity and guilt and resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, and ego. And that the other wolf is good. It represents joy and peace and love and humility and kindness, generosity and compassion and faith. And he says that fight is just as it's going on inside of me, it's going on inside of you.
Yeah.
And the grandson thinks about it for a minute, and he asks his grandfather, well, which wolf wins? And the grandfather simply replies, the one you feed.
Yeah.
That was a story told to me at a point in my life where I didn't feel like I had that power of choice. And that story was life-changing for me. That story is something that was a moment in my life, in my, taking an assessment of my circumstances. I was choosing to feed the bad wolf. I was choosing to just live in my struggle,
Yeah.
rather than bringing gratitude in my life, bringing seeking or choosing or chasing adventure willfully. I was just sulking and just being a victim.
Yeah.
And so the story, the idea, the name, Two Wolf Foundation gives us an opportunity that at those nights around the fire in camp to touch on that story and talk about how each and every one of us has the power of choice.
Yeah.
No, I love it. And,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, a lot of us veterans, we do fight that battle daily with the two wolves. I didn't even think about telling her that story because I've heard it since I was a little bitty. You're always, and it's not always just wolves. People say you're fighting two battles within yourself, the good and the bad. And I always heard that story, and it when you hear it, and it makes perfect sense because you're constantly fighting that battle, and as veterans. And even if you're still in the military, I got a cousin who's overseas right now. He fights that battle daily because he's away from his wife and kids.
As a civilian.
Yeah.
Like he's telling the story, and I could tell you like pinpoints in my life, like who I was feeding. Like absolutely.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
If somebody wanted to connect with you and get and be part of your program. So they go to your website, twowolf.org, and then they click on About TWF, go down to Connect. Now, once you're in that, down at the bottom, you have Serve and Grow. So I'm assuming Serve is for somebody who wants to help be a team lead or something. Tell us about the two different Serve and Grow path there.
Yeah, actually, well, that is the three pillars of effort that I identified for the organization. What we wanted to accomplish: we want to connect with nature, we want to connect to each other, and we want to connect to ourselves. We want to be in a position to connect to ourselves. So that is the connect portion. The serve portion is a renewal of a sense of service, being able to be a part of a team and commit to a mission and go out and actively serve. And we do that through the public land stewardship stuff. And then grow is the focus on post-traumatic growth. It was the idea that we would use this time and space that we have together over the course of these programs to discuss how we just become better human beings, be better family members, be better employees, be better friends. And it's just adopting a growth mentality focused on what are the things that we need to do in our life that allow that, whether it's incorporation of daily practices that are taught at that Warrior Path program, because that's ultimately what we do at Two Wolf Foundation. Is we either serve alumni of that Warrior Path program to continue to foster a growth mentality, or we use that time in camp to talk about why individuals should seek that training and that experience and that education in post-traumatic growth, because it's life-changing.
There's so much purpose behind what you're doing. It's not just outdoor adventure. It's not just going and camping out somewhere. It's not just the beautification or the conservation. It's not just the growth. Like, there's so much, just all thrown together in such a beautiful and flowing way. Like, it's so natural, along with, what you're putting these people into. And I'll say heroes, because you're dealing with military and first responders, and it's listening to you speak about it, and like watching through the website on some of these things, and how you've built it with your purpose is something it's so beautiful to me. Like, I can't imagine so far what the 24 people that have had the opportunity to experience this, what they have become because of it. You look at what you've become because of it, and what you're doing to give back to that community and that part of the society that really needs that help. And it, like I said, it's not just going and camping overnight. You're also giving them a sense of purpose, but you're also giving them direction, and giving them that glimmer that they might not have of hope that I can grow from this. I watched what Brian did and where he came from and where he was, and he went through this program, and look what he's doing now to give back to our community. I have had goose pimples throughout almost this whole podcast, because I love what you're doing, Brian. It is beautiful, and it's one of those things that both of us are sitting here, and I know our minds are going.
Yeah.
Because, like, I know some guys here that it's a veteran group, and they're called the Tundra Club, and they have Toyota Tundras. And so when you first said that, but they're veterans that go around and they gather things for other veterans.
Yeah.
And they love to go camping and stuff. Like, I could probably call the guys and be like, hey, I got an idea. I'm going to connect you guys to Brian, or, hey, I'm going to tell you about this. Watch our podcast, learn some about this, and then tell me what you think. Pick an area. Let's find a group. Let's do it.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's what you have created with your partners. The three original amigos, I'm going to say.
It's unique.
It's very unique in the aspect of, outdoor therapy, because for one, you're taking care of public lands that we want to be here for the all eternity. Long after you and I are both in the ground 6 feet under, we want this this land to be there to help provide healing for future generations of veterans, future generations of first responders, just future generations of human, because there's something very therapeutic about being outdoors. And then you're building that camaraderie with, your 5 other people that are with you on this project that you're going out to do. And then, you're breaking bread with them, and you're building that lifelong friendship that you might not have had beforehand, because you could set 6 different people from all different parts of the United States, and you might have a redneck from South Alabama and a New Yorker from New York, and you get them together
from Kentucky.
Yeah, or a Crown Eater from Kentucky, and you put them all together, and then by the time that they're done with that 12-day adventure, they're brothers. Or sisters in case of the new one that's getting ready to come up.
Well, and look at the ripple effect afterwards.
Yeah, and then the ripple effect,
How, like, we slam on that almost every single time that we have a podcast.
Yeah.
It's, you help one
at a time, one veteran at a time.
And that one that you help today may help one, and it may help 2 tomorrow. Like, it's all about.
So this is Miss Adelaide Maddox. She's a veteran. She is with Lady Veterans Connect out of Winchester, Kentucky. She was with Toyota. She was the chair for the Toyota Veterans Association. So that's another good contact to get you in contact with, Brian, because she's got a wealth of female veterans that go through the program there with Lady Veterans Connect. And I'm sure she's still. Are you still with Toyota? I can't remember if she said she still works for Toyota or not, but that might be somebody that you need to get in contact with and see about getting Toyota to
getting those 2 more trucks.
Toyota to donate a couple more trucks.
Toyota may become a really nice sponsor.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that we've been working on, just showing up, right? And you look at your personal growth and wellness. It requires you to just show up every day.
Yeah.
You may not get a lot done, but as long as you show up and you made that commitment to yourself. With Two Wolf Foundation, being, the founder and executive director of this thing, my mentality every day is if I can gain 1 inch closer towards solidifying strong sponsors, strong partners that see the value in what we're doing. Toyota's been at the top of the list from the very beginning because they're the platform in which this entire program functions. But
connections, Adelaide, connections.
It is a regular daily reminder that all that matters is the team that we are preparing for, the lives that we will impact or have a hand in changing the trajectory of for those 7 days. If one of their lives changes because of the time that they spent together, then every bit of work and effort to raise the funds and write the grants and prepare building these trucks, then it was worth it.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I threw your email out there. It's brian.flynn@twowolf.org. So if you're watching this, wherever you're watching it at, if you want to get in contact with Brian, that's his email there. You can get it from the website as well. I think
Adelaide, send him an email. You guys can just have a conversation.
I can't remember if your phone number was on there, but I'm not giving that out. That's not for me to give out. If you want to give it out, you can. But Adelaide, if you can connect with Brian and kind of give him a general idea of what he would need to do to get in touch with somebody from the Veterans Committee within Toyota, because he is very partial to Toyota. He already has 2 Toyotas. I think that would be
borrows another.
And borrows another. So
once more.
So you worked at Toyota for 32 years. If you can point him in the right direction of maybe getting, because I know like Home Depot, Toyota, and all these big corporations, they have donations, especially with the Veterans Committee, that they can possibly give you 2 new trucks and be a sponsor for Two Wolf Foundation.
I mean, they do it all the time. People do it all the time, giving away vehicles. Mercedes does it.
And see, Adelaide says they sponsor Honor Flight Kentucky, which is another.
Well, and they're big on Earth Care.
And big on Earth Care. So it kind of fits into your mission in a sense.
Sorry, Brian, we get excited.
That's all right.
We just get excited.
So like I said earlier, we're all about making those connections, and we're going to help you any way we can help you. I got your phone number, I got your email address, and I'm going to help you any way I can. I'm going to get you connected with Kyle Schutik out of Texas with Project Zero. And then if I come up with anybody else that I could think that might fit into what you're kind of doing, we're definitely going to make that happen. So,
is it okay if I send you a text so that way you have my number?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to talk to my Toyota guys.
Well, make sure you tag me in that so we can have my phone number as well.
Okay.
Can
Keep talking.
Can you see it?
Yeah,
but no,
I'm not as old as you are.
I definitely appreciate you coming on here and spending this hour and a half with us. And I know you've got a family life there to get back to and take care of those. I guess you got a younger one and a high school one too. So you got mine are both. So I have a senior and a junior. As of yesterday, they just graduated to the next level. And both of mine are planning on going into the military when they get out. My oldest, she wants to go into the Air Force, and she wants to be a FBI agent when she's done with her So she's going to go to college, into the Air Force, and then hopefully get into the FBI, ATF, DEA, whatever, whoever recruits her from there.
Like, I have no pity for either one of you. Mine's in the middle of her RN program.
I know, right? And then my youngest, who it will be a junior, she wants to go in the Army as a combat medic, and then she wants to get done with that, and then she wants to be a high school history teacher. I'm like, bro, to go from the military and then become a high school history teacher. And the funny thing is she don't like children. That's the funny thing. She can't stand kids.
Becca started out, she was going to be a pediatrician, my daughter. So she'll be 25 in September. When in high school, we started out she's like, Mom, I'm going to be a pediatrician. And the more the years went by and she got into her nursing and stuff, and she was like, but I don't like kids.
Yeah.
She was like, but then I get to stab them. I was like, Rebecca, that is not why you become a pediatrician. So now she's finishing her RN program, and then she's starting medical school for brain surgery. So she's going into the neuro direction. So it's funny watching your kids figure out
their life,
what they want to be, and like they're dead set on something, and then they realize like, well, it doesn't really fit me.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's great. Like, I miss it, but I don't feel for you guys.
So no. I'm going to ask one last question because I didn't. So if somebody wanted to get on your list, whether it can't be referral because, unless they know somebody from this.
How does Willis get on the list?
Yeah. How do we get on the list?
Get on the list.
Well, the easiest way, and anybody that reaches out to us, our primary mission awareness strategy has been the utilization of social media, has been to just be on Instagram and promoting what these teams have gone and done and what we plan to do. And so the majority of our interested parties have contacted us through DM on Instagram. And from there, I usually just provide them with our organizational email, info@twowolf.org, and just, hey, provide us an introduction, a little bit of background information. And from there, to me,
introduction and background information.
It's just all about building personal relationships and connections with people. And through the process of somebody experiencing through the process of somebody expressing interest in wanting to participate in these programs, it becomes my responsibility to get to know that individual and learn where they're at in life and how we'll make this work. How do we create an opportunity for this individual? And right now it's just been one team at a time and figuring out how we just continue to grow and improve the number of opportunities that are made available or possible each year.
No, I love it. So that's info@twowolffoundation.org.
At twowolf.org.
All right. So why did I put it in there?
You don't know.
Man, I didn't have my crayon.
Who found it?
Yeah, I didn't have my
Get
crayon.
your crayon out. I'll draw it on this napkin, and you can read it that way.
There we go. So there's the correct one, correct email right there. info@twowolf.org. If you want to get on the list to go out and experience what Two Wolf Foundation does for veterans, me personally, I'm going to send you an email. Since we already and I want to I definitely want to check it out because I love outdoor therapy and if I can go out west and go help beautify nature, I'm all for it.
Willis would just be happy to taking a week and coming out there and hanging out with you wherever you are. You don't even have to work on a project. He'll just help you create the project. He just wants to be in Montana. Give him a tent and put him in your yard. He'll be happy.
A hammock. Just give me a hammock, bro. And what I was thinking, there's my brother Sam Deeds. So Sam Deeds is a retired gunnery sergeant. We went to boot camp together. He's from Maine. We went to boot camp together. We went to a school of infantry together. Then we were with the 2nd Battalion 8th Marines together. And he went after I got out. He went on and had a career. And he's got an amazing story. Deeds, I think you would love this program. twowolffoundation.org. they take veterans, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Utah, Arizona, California, and they beautify. They help take care of nature, conservation wise, and I think Sam would love this program. So info at twowolf.org. And you can, go check and see what they do on their website at twowolf.org, and go check them out. Amazing program. Brian, I want to thank you for coming on here and hanging out with us. I know you got to get taking care of those kids and get back to the wife. But do you got anything that you want to say before I let you go?
I just want to thank both of you for, giving us space to talk about what it is that we're trying to do. This is my life. I mean, I quit my job and I haven't had a paycheck in like 2.5 years. Just
cubicles for Brian.
Just investing everything I have into this thing to build these teams and create opportunities to continue to serve and hopefully build just lifelong friendships and peer-to-peer support. Everybody struggles. Veterans aren't special in that. Everybody in the world experiences struggle and trauma, just to what severity or degree. And for me, the ability to have a positive impact on our tribe of people was enough to say that was what I felt compelled and called to do. And because of people like you, I get the opportunity to share that story, share our mission, and we'll continue to just get after it.
Heck yeah. Wow. So I'm going to get you connected with Rich LaMonica with the Misfit Nation show. I'm going to get you connected with Ty Cobb from the Triple Threat Vets podcast. Any of the podcast group that I'm with, I'm going to get you connected with them. Be a good one? And then that way we can get Two Wolf out there. And then that's what we kind of I've said it through the whole show is that's what we do here is we make that connection. And if I can help support you in that aspect, I'm going to. I'm
get them with Carol Lee.
Carol Lee would be another one. Yeah. So I want to thank you for coming on here and hanging out with us. It's been amazing to learn more about your organization and what you guys do.
Yes.
And if I can help you in any way, Candace just sent you a text message, her number and my number. If you need anything from us, feel free to reach out. If you want to jump back on later on and talk about some of the events that you got coming up, shoot me an email. I'll definitely get you back on, even if I have to do a special episode. We'll get you back on here. So I'm going to help support you any way we can, man.
I'm excited about it. No, thank you again for your service, for your continued service, for being vulnerable with your story and creating such a beautiful and safe place for these other heroes that need that. Thank you for that. We really appreciate your time and learning more about you, and can't wait to see 2 more trucks.
Yeah. Well, all that matters is we're building a team launching next week, and we got 3 trucks, and they're going to hit the road and unbelievable experience together. So
that's right. So I did have one more question.
Oh yeah.
What are you going to do when these ladies come back and show you guys up?
On the amount of work that they get done so far, every veteran or first responder group that we've taken out to go do these projects, they have absolutely blown away all expectations of like the amount of work that is possible to get done. I think this women's team, it's such an awesome group of ladies that they're going to kill it. I think they're going to have an incredible time. The area that they're going to I'm super jealous that I'm not leading this trip.
Yeah.
They're going to be just west of the Sawtooth Mountains. It's one of the most incredibly beautiful areas in the West. Yeah. And it's just that time of year where it's time to be outside. Everything's turning green. It's still cool up here in the Northwest in the evenings, but during the day, it warms up enough that it's enjoyable. And I think they're going to just do an incredible job.
Awesome.
Look,
because he's going to end up taking a guys team out there one time, and they're going to be like, no, we want the women back.
No, I love it, bro. I love it. I'm definitely going to reach out to you and send you my information. and heck, I might even try to find some other guys from Kentucky that might want to ride out with me, and we can, go out and do a bonding experience that way as well. So,
And if not, like, let's get something together here. And
Yeah.
Brian, come on.
yeah, and
Let's
up in
show him the
Appalachia,
Kentucky way.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
we've had such an incredible response from the off-road community and veterans out of the Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia area that have said, like, come,
Yes.
let's do a team down here.
Yeah.
And right now, we're still young, and
Yeah.
I don't want to move faster than we can't continue to build
Slow
just
and
an
steady.
unbelievable experience.
Yeah.
But ultimately, the goal for Two Wolf Foundation is to put a team of veteran first responder, warrior stewardship team impact on every national forest in the United States. That's the goal.
I love it.
We'll have
I
had a
love it.
positive impact on public lands in every U.S. national forest.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking here, just spitballing. So
There's steam coming out of your ears.
Camp Hero, Kentucky, is located on
That's a genius idea.
Daniel Boone National Forest.
Yep.
So I'm thinking,
You
and they have a
already got
cabin.
into that.
So yeah, Rocco's one of my good friends, and so and Deeds knows Rocco as well.
Where's
So
Camp Brown Bear?
I don't know. So Stephen Brown, who's a Navy SEAL, has Camp Brown Bear.
Look, we got ideas running.
Yeah.
Like, is there anything else that you wanted to tell us? I'm sorry. I know we did that, but we all squirreled.
Yeah.
It happens. It's, it's steam. Like, it's always going. Is there
Story of my life,
anything
24
that we
hours a day.
missed?
The gears are turning in how to continue to grow the impact and just create more opportunities. So yeah, I'm all for it.
Well,
Awesome.
thanks for continuing to make that choice every day.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thank you again for coming on here and hanging out with us, telling us more about Two Wolf Foundation. I'm super excited to see how you grow from where you already have grown, from where you started to where you are now, and then where you're going in the future. And yeah, I love it, man. But yeah, definitely thank you again for coming on here and hanging out with us, my friend.
Yeah, you talk about the continuing to grow. We just accomplished such an incredible goal for the organization. Was accomplished this last week in preparation for the all women's team, with the support of one of our sponsors, Multicam, the camouflage pattern, Multicam and Cry Precision. We just wrapped our trucks, so now they are branded. And they tell the world who we are.
That's awesome.
So we, for 2 years, we've just been driving around in 2 white Toyotas, loaded out with all the gear. So these trucks on our Instagram yesterday, that went out sharing the very first photos. The vehicles are fully wrapped in Multicam black and have the Two Wolf Foundation name on the sides of them. And it just,
and the women get to go represent that.
And they are they are first out into the wilderness with these newly rebranded vehicles. And it was just it was one more step closer to letting the world know who we are and what we're doing.
No, I love
Congratulations.
it. Congratulations again. And like I said, if you need anything from us, feel free to reach out to me either via email, text message. You got our phone number now. And we'll gladly support you any way we can. I'm hoping Miss Maddox, I'm hoping she shoots you an email and maybe you guys can work out something and get in contact with the right person at Toyota to help you get a couple more trucks. And that might be something that they might give you 2 trucks this year, and next year they might give you 2 more trucks. That would be pretty amazing. So yeah, definitely thank you again for coming on, hanging out with us. But other than that, man, you have a good night.
All right. Well, I appreciate everything, and you guys have a good night as well.
Yes, sir.
Bye,
You
Brian.
too.
Nice
Bye-bye.
to meet you.
Bye.
Dude, super cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very, very cool.
Yeah,
I love like the whole process of it is. I can't say anything other than beautiful.
No,
but from his story and how he started putting it together, and
there's-
and then what it turns into.
I got to get with this.
Ryan?
I got to get with this guy.
Mhm.
This guy's a Marine Corps veteran. He just signed with.
I know he went all bigwig on us.
He went to Big
all
Home.
fancy.
Is it Big Homie's record? Yeah, Ice Cube's label. What's up, Mr. Ryan Dorfield? Yeah, I got to get with Ryan. I got to get him on the show. I got to talk to him about some things, about what he's got going on, him and Berserk. So super, super cool for you jumping on here tonight, Ryan, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, Big Homie's record. Yes, sir. Not Ice Cube's? I thought it was.
No, it's Eminem.
Is it him? I don't know. Rick Ames. Rick Ames said it was Ice Cube.
No, he didn't. He said it was him. Ryan. Is it Eminem?
I don't know. But Big Homie's records. And, he's a Marine Corps veteran. He's doing amazing things. So definitely thanks for jumping on, Ryan. Are you back home in Kentucky, or are you out?
They've been in Vegas for a while.
I know they've been touring, man.
Yeah. They were potentially going to go.
So,
but wait.
I think
we were in the middle. Look, we're squirreling way too much tonight. Like I'm so super excited about Two Wolf. Like, it is really good to see you, Ryan. I'm sorry, but like this was awesome. This organization is awesome.
Yeah, it is. I mean, what they do for veterans and first responders, taking them out in nature, you get nature therapy, outdoor therapy, and then you help
to grow.
To grow.
Continue
to grow.
And creating, like you said, there's the brotherhood, the sisterhood, the bond that comes between these teams of 6 that, you have this brotherhood when you're serving, whether that's, you regular old grunts like you or Green Berets like Brian.
Yeah.
But then you have something like this where you're taking 6 people from different places in the world and probably different service backgrounds and putting them into a different element in dealing with those demons or those spirals or the things that they cope with every day, and being able to get rid of that with somebody that relates with it and doing something so purposeful with it, and then having direction after. Look at that bond.
Yeah.
Look at that bond and what it's going to do and what they're going to take home. Like, you talk about the ripple and them referring somebody, but you're also looking at the ripple of once these people go home, now they have people they can get a hold of if they need to. They have an experience to look back on. They found some grounding techniques. They've found different purposes in their life, and they're also going to use that within their family units or work or friends, and it's going to ripple everywhere.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. No, I'm super excited about Two Wolf Foundation. And then, hey, Ryan, I do need to reach out to you soon. So there's an organization called Hero Stock. It started out as Vet Stock. It's now called Hero Stock. We're bringing them to Kentucky, November. So Brian, we appreciate you too, sir. Have a great night. But yeah, Ryan, I need to reach out to you. For one, I got to get you scheduled to get on the podcast. 2, I need to talk to you about Hero Stock as well. I think it's something that might be right up your alley. Me and you got to get together soon and talk for sure.
Lots of things going.
Yeah, lots of things going on. So July 25th through the 30th, we got the Vietnam Traveling Wall coming to Shepherdsville. So it's the largest Vietnam traveling wall with the Cost of Freedom tribute coming to Shepherdsville, July 25th through the 30th. The escort starts July 24th. It's going to go from Mount Washington, Kentucky into Shepherdsville, down 44. So if you live in this area or close by, come find you a parking spot along 44, get you some American flags and wave them as the wall's going through. And then definitely come out there. And you have to see the wall twice. So you need to see it during the daytime, and then you need to see it at nighttime because it transforms. Now, the 26th and 27th, we have food trucks, vendors, live music going on. They will be playing classic rock, Vietnam era
and then
music.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Well, Sunday will be a DJ. We'll have a DJ.
But there's still going to be like food trucks and vendors and all of that.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday is all your vendors and food. And
so we got that coming up. Then we're working on getting hero stock into Bullitt County, Kentucky, at the Bullitt County Fairgrounds on November 8th. I got a meeting with the mayor of Shepherdsville, the Bullitt County Chamber of Commerce as well. So super, super excited about that. There's all kinds of things going down. But what we need to talk on is our new segment that we got coming up within HomeFront Sitrep. So we started a new segment. Monica Sanford, she has a podcast that's called the Monica Sanford Show. She's a doctor of nursing. She was married to a lieutenant colonel or she's still married to him in 35 plus years. He's a retired lieutenant colonel. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 2 days before the Marine Corps birthday, and also Veterans Day as well. That's why we're bringing hero stock here to Kentucky.
Have we called Crayola to be a sponsor?
No. No. But yeah, so we got a new segment with Monica. It's called #AskMonica. If you have problems with your VA disability claims, she is a VA disability provider. So before you go, she helps you get everything ready to go for everything. So let's play this little video. It's 38 seconds. She's asking you what your favorite flavor is.
I'll make sure there's plenty, Ryan.
I'm working with Event Solution Fight Page. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can email at askmonica0@gmail.com, or you reach out to me, Ryan, and I'll give you Monica's cell phone number.
Did you say Ask Monica 0?
Yeah, askmonica0@gmail.com. That's her email. And what she's going to do is she'll either respond to you via email or she'll pop in here on our show. I'm in process working with Will Kreisman. He is an Army veteran, a clinical therapist. He is embedded with units in Fort Knox.
I have a friend that likes the blue ones. He calls them Bud Light Blue.
Bud Light
His
Blue.
favorite flavor. John Schofield.
Okay, Schofield. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we got Will Kreisman. We're gonna have a segment with Will Kreisman as well. I need to work out the details with him, so we'll get an email set up for him as well. I can't thank Heroes Media Group enough for allowing us to be part of Heroes Media Group, which is friggin' an amazing organization. And then Military United podcast streams. We are going live on there as well. We're in the process of doing some things with Military United podcast stream with their Roku channel. We should be live on their Roku channel soon. Veterans Voice Radio Foundation, which is Donald Dunn. Amazing organization as well. So Donald Dunn focuses on veteran artists, whether they're country, rap, or whatever. Ryan, I need to get you connected with Donald Dunn to get you on Veteran Voice Radio too as well. Yeah, definitely. I need to get you connected. Me and you need to talk.
We got a list.
Yeah, me and you need to talk for sure.
I think we need to rename the podcast.
No, I like HomeFront.
You want to know what to?
What to?
Simply amazing.
Yeah, simply amazing. It's phenomenal. Yes, we need to talk for sure, Ryan. We got some things that right up your alley when it comes to the music side of things. We will definitely need to talk.
Sam.
And then, Candace, do you want to reach out to Ryan and get him scheduled for the podcast?
Ryan, message me on Facebook, darling.
But yeah, so we got all kinds of great things coming up. It's only upward from here. I'm super excited about the trajectory of HomeFront Sitrep and where we're going. with the connections that we've made with all these different veteran service organizations. And it's just, dude, it's
Beautiful network.
in the words of my friend Al Hero, it's phenomenal. I love it. I love it. But
Simply amazing. I think it's beautiful. It is. It's beautiful. I've had goosebumps so much lately with some of our podcasts and the things that they're doing, and you can not only see it in the results, but you can feel it. You can feel the genuineness, the unconditionality of it that is so purposeful.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And the connections that we are making with these people, and then them with others, like.
Yeah,
it doesn't get any better than this, and right?
It don't, because that's the whole purpose of HomeFront Sitrep is to help make those connections with people.
Look at them again.
Yeah,
like it's been this whole thing.
Whether I'm connecting, Brian Flynn with all the podcast groups that have them have Two Wolf Foundation on there, or I'm connecting Ryan with Donald Dunn out of Veterans Voice Radio Network that focuses just on veterans that are singer-songwriters.
Or creating bylaws with the Hundo Club.
Or creating bylaws with,
let's do it all.
And we're actually, with Military United Podcast Streams, we're actually creating a 501c3 within that focuses on veteran singers. We got Scotty Hastings coming up.
Oh yeah, we're going to be one of the founding.
We got Scotty Hastings coming up, who is a Army veteran. We got Scotty Frazier, who's a Marine Corps veteran, just reached out to us.
Scotty's like too soon to talk about right now. We don't. It's like
which Scotty?
Well, we don't want Scotty golfers.
Huh? No, not the golfer.
I know. I'm just saying. Like you just named two Scotty.
Oh,
what about the two boys?
The Rocky Cowboys out of Taylorsville. But yeah, so we got all kinds of crazy things coming up. I'm super excited. Like I said, it's just, but you always have to ask that next hard question. Always. And this commercial, I played it at the beginning at the show, but I'm going to play it again because, dude, it hits home. It really does. We as veterans, we deal with our inner demons daily.
Two wolves.
And two wolves up there. But we deal with our inner demons, and this commercial by BetterHelp, it just hits it right on the head. So. That commercial right there, it hits because I can ask any veteran out there, I can ask any human out there, how are you doing? And they're going to say, I'm fine. I'm living the dream. I'm hanging in there.
Good.
But you really have to ask the next hard question. How are you really doing? Because more likely they're going to open up, man. They're really, if I ask Candace, hey, how you really doing? She's going to go a mile a minute. But yeah,
you have to open that gateway, and don't do it unless you care. Don't do it unless you're ready for it.
Yeah, don't do it just to do it.
Yeah, if you're going to ask somebody how they are, be ready.
Be ready to sit there and talk for however long. It could be an hour, it could be 30 minutes, it could be 20 minutes, it could be friggin' 5 hours. But be ready for that conversation. If you're going to say, hey, how are you really doing? Be ready for that conversation. And we talked about it all the time on this podcast, one veteran at a time. And it's that trickle down effect. It's that ripple effect. Just like Two Wolf was just saying, Brian was just saying with Two Wolf, it's that ripple effect. If we reach one veteran a day and then they turn around and say, hey, this is what helped me, we did our job. Our mission is completed. So one veteran a day, that's what it takes.
Absolutely.
Want to thank everybody that's came on here tonight and watched us. Mr. Ryan Dorfield, aka Theory, You had Doc come on. You had Sam Dietz come on. You had Adelaide Maddox come on. All of you guys are why we do what we do here within HomeFront Sitrep.
Yeah. You gonna be okay next week?
Yeah, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Hmm.
Why?
Because you're gonna have an empty chair.
Yeah, I'll just toss it off to the side.
That's what he does.
You know me. You know what?
You know
I might
this
even
man.
have Ryan jump on.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Why? I can have Ryan jump on with me. He's special, bro. Ryan, we might. Oh
You can
yeah.
have Adelaide.
There we go. Adelaide can fill in. So Deeds, I'm thinking about doing that Soldiers of Sidelines course as well. There's also another one, dude, that you need to check out. It's Battlefields to Ball Fields. So you're taking the coaching courses through Soldiers of Sidelines. Well, there's Battlefields to Ball Fields that help you become umpires with it for like your little league, your college, and all that. So it's called Battlefields to Ball Field. I reached out to them as well. So July 1st, I believe, is our Soldier Sideline episode that we're going to have July 1st. Somebody's up there going
I was
crazy.
gonna say, did you get?
No, I didn't get a text message or anything. It's probably Grace. She's probably ready for me to jump in. You know what, Adelaide?
She's got the
I might have to reach out to you and maybe get you to jump on, or Ryan, whoever.
Yeah, it's for Sunday
And
because
who
I
do
will
we
be
have?
unplugged, and actually that Sunday I'll be at a Dodgers game.
You know what? So that one, so Sunday that she's not going to be here is the 26th. It's Beyond Boundaries out of Virginia.
Fill in, Adelaide. It'll be a
That's
good one.
that's going to be a really cool episode because they not only just veterans with disabilities, but they take people with autism, they take Down syndrome, and they don't say disabilities, they say other abilities. So a super cool episode. If you want to jump in on that one, that'd be super cool. Deeds, I love that you're doing the Soldiers of Sidelines course. That's friggin' awesome, bro. I'm super excited about talking with the founder of Soldiers of Sideline and why he started that program. And then I'm also super excited to reach out to the Battlefields to Ball Fields as well, because I've taken a couple courses for umpiring when Lorelai was doing softball and stuff like that. And there's a lot to learn. I mean, a shit ton to learn.
I know. I coached for years.
But no, it's super, super cool, guys. But yeah, thank you, guys. Yeah, Harrison is amazing. I talked to him for an hour and a half the other day when I did my meet and greet. And normally I do it on the screen here, but he called me and we talked for about an hour and a half, and it was super cool. It was super. He's going to be an amazing guest and tell his story. So
all of our guests are
and when you're in Florida next week, I'm not going to miss you, bro.
I won't miss you either. It's not next week. It's tomorrow.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Jim Webb, Semper Fi, brother?
Aww.
So you're getting packed for honor flight tonight, 4 a.m. I am the guardian for our 94-year-old Korean War female Air Force veteran. The Roll Call Foundation was able to raise and donate $4,800 to Bluegrass Honor Flight.
Congratulations to Roll Call. Go, you guys. That's awesome.
Dude, Jim Webb, that's awesome. You, Don, and Dave, man, you guys are doing amazing things with the Roll Call.
Yeah, it's the only thing that I'd rather be doing at 4 a.m. because I'm waking up at 4 a.m., but I'm driving to Florida to go on a beach. But I have always wanted to escort. I want an escort and honor flight. By the end of something, I'm going to escort somebody on an honor flight.
No, that'd be amazing. I know Heather French Henry's really involved with that as well. And I'm glad to see that Jim is going to be able to be a guardian for a 94-year-old Korean War female. Dude, I would love to pick her brain.
Right.
She's 94 years old.
And by the way, I miss your face, Jim. I haven't seen you guys in
forever. Oh, dude. I would love to pick her brain. So when we were in
94 years old.
When I think Deeds, you might be able to help me out here. When did the Frozen Chosen come to Camp Lejeune for us? Do you remember when they came and we got to meet all of the Frozen Chosen Marines? God, I can't remember what year that was. 99 or 99, 98, 2000.
Don't look at me. You can ask that other crazy one, you know.
Well, Sam was there.
I know Sam knows them too.
I'm talking about Sam was there.
Sam knows
Yeah,
them, too.
98. Yeah. So 98, we got to meet the Frozen Chosen Marines at Camp Lejeune, and dude, that was you talking about goosebumps, and just to get to hear their stories and stuff like that. And unfortunately, with the World War II veterans and the Vietnam veterans and the Korean veterans, they're dying away. You know, they're dying away, and their stories are dying with them.
Jim, take a tape recorder, record that woman, have her tell your story or her story,
and we'll
like,
play.
Just how awesome would that be? Like, get all the information that you can, because those stories go with them.
Mm-hmm.
So if we don't have them, we never will.
Yeah,
get them, Jim.
And Jim says we're losing them fast, and you are correct, sir. We are losing them way too fast. And their stories, unfortunately, their stories are dying with them. And now I do know that some veterans, they will never tell their story fully, and they will take their story to the grave with them. But
that's okay. But there's something they're going to tell you that you haven't heard or you haven't experienced. And even if it's not military related, if it's not service related, there's things that 94-year-old woman lived through that we'll never even get to understand, much less comprehend in any way that
like the Great
that was
Depression,
possible.
The Great
Think
Depression
about the things that woman lived through.
Oh yeah.
And she went into the Korean War in the Air Force. Ooh. Ooh.
She's a brave woman.
And she's still alive talking about it.
Yeah. But anywho, guys, I, like I said earlier, I want to thank all of you guys for jumping on and hanging out. You're the reason why we do this podcast. It helps me with my PTS, my anxiety, my hypervigilance.
And then I come along
and my FOMO too. Oh, what?
I said, and then I come along and make it worse.
You do. But at least, hey, that's 2 nights in a row you ain't been back.
I'm worried.
I know, right? I know.
I was really worried about, like, driving home last night. I was like,
night, Jim. You be safe, and when you
have fun.
And when you get back, dude, you need to hit me up so we can talk about your trip. I like to hear about it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see those pictures.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the pictures.
We should all walk around with a recorder.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, I was on the way home last night. I was like, I'm kind of worried.
So when we were talking about Two Wolf just a minute ago, and if I go out there, I'm going to take that video camera that I got right there, and I'm going to document it while I'm out there, and do like a docu-series on it.
I meant to tell you, there's this preserve that I'm looking out over top of in the condo that I'm in, and it's old World War II, where they brought all this, like their bunkers and everything, and it's a military trail.
Oh, nice.
I'm going on it. Well, so I'll get pictures and stuff, and and some video stuff. Like, the bunkers are still there in the ground. You can go into them. I'm like, what? It's so cool.
No, that's super, super cool.
Like, it's the before I say that, the Coffeen Nature Preserve, but it's got the military mile.
The military mile. All right,
hold on,
cool things. No, that's super, super, super cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out too. I love going to, like, when we went to St. Augustine
military trail.
Yeah, when we went to St. Augustine, we went to the ford. When we went to Puerto Rico, we went to the ford.
Yeah, the bunkers and stuff are still there.
Oh, that's super cool.
Mm-hmm.
You're not showing nobody on the screen?
Well, no, it's on my phone. Sorry,
But anyway, guys, I want to say thank you guys for jumping on here, hanging out with us. You guys are why we do what we do. You guys are why we're number 7 on the 100 Best Veteran podcast list out there, because you come back and watch us. Adelaide, if you want to jump on next week, shoot me an email. Me and you will talk, because I think you would love Beyond Boundaries in Virginia. I think that would be something right up your alley. Ryan, if you're still on here, reach out to me as well. We'll get to talking and see if you want to jump on as well.
You just have a little hodgepodge.
I love it. I love it, because then I can play some of Ryan's music on here too.
I'll just come on live.
Yeah. So
I'll have my phone. I'll be like, hey, I'm here.
Guys, thank you. Good night, sweet dreams, wherever you are. I will play my sponsors' videos, talenttalents.com, Louisville Local Entertainment, Veterans Mortgage Solutions,
boy.
and Got Your Six Culture, Same Flag, Same Oath.com. Thank you guys for being amazing sponsors and allowing me to do this mission of helping one veteran at a time. And like Candace and I say always, stay safe out there. We got your six. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find HomeFront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your six.